Hi, I'm LP Master 6. Let's get into the Ace League. That's why. Because the timer starts as soon as the ROM is loaded. So that's why the welcome to whatever league only pops up for like half a second. Okay, because we were sitting on that first screen for a while. But anyway, I'm LP Master 6. Did I already say that? If I did, oh well. We are in the final league of BSF Zero Grand Prix. This is the finale. I don't know if it's going to be split into two parts, but here's some Art of the Fire Scorpion for you. Looks pretty... I don't know if it's cool or not, because that's just a... Oh, what is that? It looks kind of like a tomato, actually, on the front. It's just the Fire Stingray, but in the cooler V shape instead of the unique circular design, and this one just has a... I know it's supposed to be a scorpion or whatever, but it's not what it looks like. It looks like a tomato. And that's right, our track. First track of the day, because you were wondering, I said there were 4 new tracks, and there were 15 tracks in the original game. That's 19, but we need 20 tracks. 5 times 4, to make this a full game. So they brought back Mute City 1! Yeah, I'm not sure why, but I'm not complaining. Should I really be showing you the tutorial, though? I bet they're saying different stuff, so you can pretend they're saying different stuff. Talking about how this is coming to an end, and to celebrate we're going back to the very roots of the game. I don't know. I wish there was a game where you could play as all 8 of the vehicles. Of course, these are pretty similar to their original counterparts anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. But I don't want to practice. I want to get into the race, damn it. It seems we cannot scroll to see our other laps there, just our top five. But I'd like to think that went pretty well. And because I didn't practice with the green fella before, except in the very beginning of the game, I decided to go ahead and give him the time of day. Sorry again for my chair sounds, but Whiteland 2 is finally here. A track I could not get past on expert mode without cheating. So I'm scared. Because you know what the rest of the tracks are, except for the new one. If you've been paying attention and know the original game at all. And I can only think of one of them. You know the one. Oh, the bane of my existence. As far as F-Zero goes, at least. The bane of my F-Zero related existence. Because, some people only know some people in a specific type of existence. Like, I only know a lot of YouTubers in their YouTube existence. So maybe you only know me in my F-Zero existence. You only know me in my... this is a terrible idea to practice with this, but I'm going to do it anyway. You only know me in my Nintendo existence. Okay, guys, I feel like I kind of decimated that practice. Except one of those laps wasn't very good, but I think that was the 6th one that doesn't show up. Red Canyon 2? I don't even remember you existing, so this is the one I forgot about. Oh boy, I'm not excited for... these last few tracks. And again, I've never played the final new track, so we'll see how this goes. Oh yeah, this is basically Red Canyon 1. They're like the same track. Oh, that's right! I'm sorry, is he doing this without a boost? I don't think I could pull that off without a boost, right? What? Hold on, what's the catch here? Like, what are they talking about? Okay, we'll never know. Maybe I can have it translated. I mean, I took 3 semesters of Japanese in college. It feels weird to say I did something in college. It still feels weird because I'm out of college. I'm old. I'm 25 now. But I'm actually tempted to use the Fire Scorpion, but I know that's not going to end well for the actual Grand Prix, I mean. I don't want to practice. I want to play the real game. Oh, you can make that without a boost. No problem. Okay, that is very good to know. Miss! Oops. So I haven't paused on the practice screen yet. There's a give up option. I'm scared to find out what that does, so I'm not going to press it. But I'm so tempted. Oh, 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 oh! Yeah, okay, that's way less stressful than it looks. Oh, this is what it does. I realize that might be the case. Okay, cool. And you get to keep the music while you're on that screen. Great. I thought that said age 3. I was like, the track? 3 years old? So I'm sure that's at least 6. Because, you know, 1990 was the last game, and this is it. Firefield. This gorgeous looking piece of architecture can kiss my ass. Oh my god, that's an expression I never used, so that felt weird. I'm paying close attention here, learning the tricks. Looks like hang left is the way to go about it. That's where you use the boost. Okay, I'm going to keep that in mind. So where's there a contest for this for best time? I gotta know. There had to have been something. Because there's no reward, it feels like, for doing well. Which is surprising, given the social nature of the game. I mean, playing Zelda 1 was kind of its own reward. Like, did you get everything? Did you beat Ganon, you know? Oh well. I will say our next Satellaview game is not my next Let's Play, but it is... it is a game that makes greater use of the Satellaview, I feel like. I've never actually played it, but I've heard amazing things about it. And I'll be playing it soon after this for practice. That's a few Let's Plays away, though. If you want a hint, our next Let's Play is a Game Boy game. I'm acting like I'm showing you this. You know what? Why the hell not? Because I need as much practice as I can get. And boy, oh boy. Let's see how I do. Alright. Oh, no, don't do that. So far, so good, though. This is our final practice, after all. I guess it would make sense to leave it in. Alright. Now, Firefield isn't actually that bad on beginner or even standard difficulty in the SNES game. But it's impossible to even get to on expert, and if you can get there on expert, it's impossible to beat. So it truly is a worthy final boss, but it's not the final boss of this game, and I don't think we're playing on expert at all. God, I can't imagine trying to beat this on master difficulty. Oops. I didn't want to do that. So guys, there was something I was going to say, but I don't remember what it is. Oops. Oh, I was going to talk about this. This, for some reason, Firefield in particular gives off this aura of pure early 16-bit era charm. Like, the way its graphics are done. I don't know how to describe it. But everything about it is the perfect example of early 16-bit era games. Sorry, something stuck in my throat. Alright. Okay, that was faster that time. It helped that we had the boost. I'm definitely going to have to go through the pit zone. As in pit crew healing. That was a racing joke. Not a joke. I don't know why I called it a joke. Every lap anyway. Because I know I'm going to need the healing. I have a feeling we're going to crash out before this 53 seconds is up for practice. I'm so nervous, you guys. Firefield. Oh, and then whenever we pass it. I swear I'm not doing this badly on purpose. Whenever we pass it, there's probably an even harder track. I'll almost be disappointed if it's not harder. I don't know. It's basically all about the music for me. But for some reason, this also reminds me of Super Monkey Ball. I just found out a lot of Sega soundtracks were on Spotify, so I've been thinking about Super Monkey Ball a lot because I've been listening to the Super Monkey Ball soundtracks while I shower. And it's a good time. I never realized how hard Sonic 1 soundtrack goes. Like, I've listened to it while Galen's played the game next to me. But, man. Oh, that's good stuff. Marble Zone or Marble Garden Zone, whatever. It sounds so good. It slaps. It freaking slaps. Another expression I don't use. Oh, I like how they have... I just now noticed on the final practice that they have the background at the top there. Alright, here we go. Are you nervous? I already said I was nervous, so I don't need to repeat myself. This is definitely being split into multiple videos. What's that sound? I know my wife is washing the spaghetti pot so we can have spaghetti in the bathtub. We got our new dishwasher installed after a month of not having a dishwasher. And I can't stand hand-washed dishes. So I just bought a bunch of paper and plastic stuff to destroy the environment because I'm selfish. Which I normally won't spend money on anything, but hand-washed dishes gross me out so much. It's very difficult to eat at other people's houses. I've become more and more of a quote-unquote germaphobe. I went on this rant last time about phobias. So I'm not really a germaphobe, but the way I touch stuff confuses people. I'm very particular about my hands and what they touch and what they don't touch. Oh, the worst thing in the world is when somebody orders a drink with their food. And it's always on the side of the drink because the restaurant workers are careless. Not always. Not nearly always. And they never give me drink carriers. Every time I go to Sonic, I ask for a drink carrier because there's always more than one drink or frozen thingy, whatever. Something that goes in a cup holder, basically. And they have never brought the drink carrier out with it. I always have to send the person back in and say, my cup holders are messed up. Can I get a drink carrier? And then they look at me weird because then they look at my cup holders, which are perfectly fine. But they always go back in and get the drink carrier. But last time the guy said, yeah, hold the drinks while I go do that. So I just had to hold them awkwardly. And then I didn't have enough hands, so I just dropped them in because I wasn't setting them down and picking them back up. That's gross. But I don't want to think about this anymore, frankly. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh. Did I save my boost on accident? No, it's coming up here. I'm surprised they didn't make a Mute City 4 for this. They could have made 5 tracks. They could have combined all the Mute Cities into one track, like a really long Rainbow Road Mario Kart 64 experience. That would have been cool. It wouldn't have worked at all, but it would have been cool. They could have just slapped those maps on top of each other and called it a day. Like, if this is what remains of a 1997 sequel, of course this game has a sequel, BSF 02 Grand Prix. We still have more of the sequels content to go, I get that, but this is really lacking as far as sequels go, but it's still really cool. You know, like, nobody's looking at BS Super Mario Brothers 2/USA and going, oh, I just wish there was more new content, because that's not what it's about. That's not what it's for. That game was just neat. I appreciate that more as time goes on. And it really makes me sad I was not a Japanese kid in the 90s. Of course, I'm glad I wasn't. Don't they... Wait. When did Japan stop having men do mandatory military conscription? You know, that's something I like about America. I had to sign up for the draft, but I didn't have to go in the military. We are lapping last place! Woo! Implying that none of the lesser cars spawn in and only the top, you know, the main playable cars do. in a race. Pretty neat. Because, yeah, it would be a little senseless to have 20 cars plus the obstacle cars right here, you know, on screen, or at least registered as having a location on the track. That'd be a little much for the game to handle. I don't think they could have done that. I could just do this forever. I don't know why I activated the boost. Oh well, it's fine. We're gonna be alright. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh. So I thought... So I remember some years ago, I think probably around when I turned 18, there was this big deal of women now have to sign up for the draft, and it was like, yay, reducing sexism. That bill never passed. There wasn't a bill, it was an amendment to a law or something, I don't remember. But that never went through. Women still don't have to sign up for the draft. Bogus. It's not like I can be drafted anyway, with my numerous health problems. Also, I'm underweight. My life, my family timeline would be a lot different if my grandfather had been drafted in World War II. A military official came up to him and said, we tried to draft you, but turns out you're 2 pounds underweight. And then he said, well, you could still join and do something if you want to. And my grandfather was reportedly very rude to him and told him to leave. And then my dad served in the military for over 40 years. But that is not for me. I am a pacifist. But every brother-in-law I've ever had, except for one of them, has joined the military. My eldest sister's only husband joined the military, and my other sister's first 2 husbands joined the military, and they apparently couldn't mentally handle it because they were pretty cool before they joined the military, and then afterward they sucked. Like, I'm sure it is traumatizing, so I can't really blame them, but, you know, they didn't have to be abusive to my family. Oh, I just scratched a cat scratch that is still scabbing over. Oh, it hurts. My wife has turned on the stove to cook the spaghetti. Perfect timing, because we have 4 more races, and that's it. So we got like 30 minutes. Less than 30 minutes. Oh, that's right. We got to check out our laps. How many? No, I wanted to see how many. Oh, I'm sorry. I was checking our time. I was too excited about spaghetti. They should have added more traps to Mute City 1 if they were going to have it return. Seriously. I haven't looked enough into the sequel to this yet because I wanted to keep this fresh on our minds. And I didn't want to be like, well, the sequel's better than this, because I actually have no idea. So, I'm just... Ooh, I'm happy to be playing F-Zero again, honestly. Any excuse to play F-Zero, I'm happy with. Original F-Zero, I mean. This game engine. Not saying the later games are bad, they're just too hard for me, and I am procrastinating practicing for those Let's Plays, let me tell you. Oh, God. I don't even own the GameCube game. Or any of the other ones. I just own the second mainline entry, the Nintendo 64 game. But should I go ahead and talk about this? I mean, not really. There's nothing to say, and it's not relevant because this isn't a 64 game. But Nintendo was losing a lot of sales from not having, you know... Also, how are we in first? Probably because the practice. Guess the practice was a good thing. Could have just been, you know, 2 minutes per track. That would have been nice. Feels like a little bit of a waste of my precious time on Earth. Because I view everything as in limited time or by how many, like, how much money I make an hour. Even on a day off, if I'm like, oh my god, I just recorded footage for 3 hours and it messed up. That's $60. Like, no, it's not. You weren't at work. You were playing a video game. Shut up. Oh, what was I saying before I went on that mini rant? I don't remember. I'm sorry. Oh man, the bass is so good. Oh, this soundtrack is seriously in the top something video game soundtracks of all time. At least top 50. And that's saying something, because there's a lot of good video game soundtracks out there. I actually don't know what my favorite video game soundtrack is. Super Mario 64 is a contender, though. It's really good. I mean, there's too many obvious classics there. But we'll just get into, you know, all of those when we get into those. I'm really trying to remember what I was talking about. Oh, this is our final required lap. I'm satisfied now. And then we have 3 minutes left on this. So what are you guys doing? Like I told you guys, we're going to the fair tomorrow. I need to start uploading videos closer now that I'm getting more comments. I record so far out that usually by the time I get a comment about something in the game, if I ever do, which isn't that common. Pokemon is one of the few examples. I'm like, well shit, sorry. Even though you're only on like part 3, I finished recording 2 weeks ago. So I'm probably going to upload part 1 today if there's time. It's already 3 something, so probably not. So this is my first day since my birthday. Over a month ago. Without a video uploaded. That's a shame. Oh well. Today is 9/11. For you non-Americans, that was a day of tragedy that I'm sure you've heard Americans talk about quite a bit. It's the most recent tragedy the entire country, you know, talks about in great detail still. And like, it's weird because I was 3 when it happened. Everybody, like, I've talked about this a couple times today already, but not to the camera. Not a camera, jeez. I mean, technically, it's a virtual camera recording my screen from the same system that it's... Whatever. Okay, best not to confuse myself right now. I'm focused on the game, so let's talk about 9/11. Like, I was 3. I distinctly remember people being upset, and I'm just thinking, I don't care. Like, that sucks for those guys, but I'm 3, and, like, I was pretty selfish. I just really did not care that much. And then I would go to school, you know, every year on September 11th. We would have this thing all the way back in kindergarten. And they would show us footage and have memorials for these people who died in 9/11. And we were like 100 miles away, so we didn't know any of the people, but they would list all the people and, like, have a big somber time. We were in elementary school, and they still do this today in elementary school. Like, I get, it's a good teaching opportunity, you know, about history and stuff, but they showed 5-year-olds, I was 4 when I started kindergarten, actually, footage of people jumping to their deaths. And they're, like, expecting us to be all sad. They wanted us to be in such great sorrow. That's kind of fucked up. Like, yeah, it sucks. But way to desensitize 4-year-old children to suicide. Like, why would you tell these kids? Like, let them enjoy, you know, the era of innocence in their life for a little bit longer. Instead of me being, I had just turned 5, and you're like... Yeah, it was between burning to death and jumping out the windows, so that's what most people did. I don't need to hear that. You're trying to teach me how to read, and I already know how to read.